Hi guys, my name is Christine, and today I'm talking about a challenge that you can do for the next 30 days that can help improve every different area of your life that you want improving on, where you want to see improvement basically. Okay, so here are some things that you can do. Okay, but first of all, let me just say, like, with 30 days, you're not going to see massive results in 30 days with any kind of program. But if it's something that you do consistently for 30 days, then at least it will help you get into the habit of doing things more consistently, especially if you haven't been consistent in the past, especially if you have had trouble with procrastinating. So if you stick to doing these things for 30 days, I'm not guaranteeing you basically life-changing results, but I am promising results and obviously some results and obviously improving your consistency and getting into the habit of doing the things that you know you need to do. So the first thing that I want to talk about, and this is really important, and that is I want you to figure out where you see yourself in roughly about 5 years, okay? Because you got to have a goal basically. So what kind of things do you want to see improve in your life in the next 5 years? Where would you ultimately like to be in 5 years' time? So this could be, what kind of career do you want? What kind of money do you want to be earning? What kind of body do you want to have? Things like that, right? So things that are really important to you, that you really love to happen to you in 5 years. So basically, if you want to now, you pause the video, and maybe write down 5, maybe 4 or 5 things that are really important to you that you'd really love to reach in about 5 years' time, okay? So hopefully you've done that. And what I want to say now is that you need to take action on these things every day, okay? It may be one of those cases where you do it from Monday to Friday, and you incorporate it into whatever you do during the week, and maybe you have the weekends to just, do your own thing. But you should be taking action on trying to achieve these things, trying to get you a little bit closer to those things from every Monday to Friday at least, okay? You should be trying to do that, if every day if you possibly can, okay? So you want to take action on those things. So you got to figure out basically, okay, these are the things I want to be in 5 years' time. This is what I want for my life. What are the things that I can do, the physical actions I can take to help me get there, right? And what are these things? What are some things I can do every day? What are some small things that I can do every day that can help me get to that place, okay? And take action on those every day. For example, if you are hoping to achieve a certain body shape and you want to get in shape, and you would ultimately love to have a really nice, health and fit body in 5 years' time, then obviously exercise, eating the right things are obviously things that you can take action on every day. If you have like a YouTube channel like myself, or you've got like a TikTok page, or you've got like a blog or something like that, and you want that to be really successful, then obviously you need to work on that every day, right, in some shape or form. So it's important that you have got actionable steps, right, and you've got things that you can do, because wishing and dreaming for things are great because they motivate you and they put you in a really nice state when you kind of sit in there and daydream about the things that you want. It's a great feeling to have that, but it's useless if you're not taking action on it, okay? It's not just going to manifest like that. You need to take action. We do live in a physical world with physical consequences, so it's important that you take physical, practical action. Daydreaming is good, visualization is good, but only to a certain degree. You've got to also take action, okay? So before you get started though on these action steps, if you've not been consistent with it in the past, then it's important that you don't overwhelm yourself. I don't want you to create a massive list of these action steps that you're going to take if it overwhelms you. Because some of the reasons why we procrastinate, why we put things off, is because sometimes we put too much on our plate and we get stressed out. As Mel Robbins said that, really procrastination is like a stress response. You avoid it because it's too much. Right, so it's important then that the action steps that you're taking to get to where you want to be in 5 years' time, to begin with, right, at the start, are small and manageable steps, are small and manageable action steps that you can easily incorporate into your day, right? So it could be, okay, so every day for this first month, I'm just going to, one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to post on LinkedIn or on TikTok or on Instagram my page or whatever it is that you're trying to do with that. If you've got like an online business that you're trying to do, something like that, something small, because you can easily make a post a day. It doesn't take long to make a post, right? Especially if it's just something like writing something really small, or perhaps it's just taking a picture or something like that. Or maybe it's just advertising one of your products that is already available, right? That's something that you could easily quickly do within like about 15 minutes, something that you could easily incorporate into your day. The same goes for exercise. If you're hoping to get nice and fit and healthy, then, and you haven't really been great with staying consistent with workouts in the past, or your diet in the past, then when it comes down to workouts, then just do 15 minutes of working out. And that may not seem like a lot, but if you do 15 minutes for 30 days, right, just 15 minutes for 30 days, that will start getting you into the habit of exercising consistently, right? And after the first month, after the first 30 days, then maybe the next 30 days you can add it to like 20 minutes or something like that. An example of something to do with like dieting, or getting your diet right, then perhaps you just cut out one thing that isn't good for you. So for example, let's say after you've had your dinner, you have a tendency to eat sweets or something too sweet, like a dessert of some kind, even if it's just just like one chocolate bar or something like that. Then just to begin with, for this first month, just cut that out. Just cut out the dessert. Right? Don't think about the whole thing. Don't think about your whole diet. Don't think about what you're eating for breakfast, what you're eating for lunch, what you're eating for dinner. Just start by cutting out one unhealthy thing that you do or you eat every day. Okay? Start small, essentially, because you don't want to overwhelm yourself. The whole point of this is that I want you to get consistent into doing the things that you know you need to do, and to develop better habits for yourself, okay? And to stay consistent with those habits. And sometimes the best way to do that, especially if you've had trouble with procrastinating in the past, is by starting small. If you're a student watching this, then instead of trying to write the whole essay that you may need to write for your next paper, just start by just doing a paragraph a day, right? Especially if your deadline is like, let's say, in a few weeks. Just start by writing a paragraph. Or you write out the whole thing, but it's just a sloppy copy, right? You just write out the whole thing, you just put down your thoughts, and then you go back to it tomorrow and start improving it, adjusting it, right? Or maybe you just write down today just some bullet points of what you want to address in the essay or something like that. So start by doing something small and manageable. You don't have to do the whole thing straight away, okay? You don't have to take on too much. And I don't want you to take on too much, because if you do, and you've got a massive to-do list, you're going to procrastinate, right? Especially if you've struggled with procrastination in the past. Because like Mel Robbins says, procrastination is actually, can be just a stress response. You just want to avoid something that you know is going to be difficult, because it's just too much, okay? So the next point I want to get into is that it's important that you persevere, okay? So you want to use time and the law of averages, the law of probability to your advantage, okay? So what this means is that if you just keep on going, if you just keep on throwing out attempt after attempt, eventually you will get what you want. Eventually you will get that viral hit or whatever it is. Like if you keep on posting videos on YouTube, then eventually one of those is going to get a lot of views. If, let's say, you do it consistently for a year, one of those is going to get a lot of views. Right? So it's important that you just persevere and use the law of averages and time and the law of probability to your advantage. Right? If you keep on throwing out attempts after attempts, you're going to get there. Right? It's if you're a writer, right? Let's say you've got a blog or something, or you're trying to get published. Right? If you keep on writing and you keep on sending those books, those manuscripts to publishers, or if you've got a blog and you keep on creating post after post after post after post after post over time, eventually one of those is going to get a lot of attraction. Eventually one of your manuscripts is going to get published. It's just the law of probability. Okay, now maybe there are some things that you can do to improve your writing, to get better, to and things like that. Then obviously take that if you feel like maybe you need to improve in those areas. In order to get published, because perhaps the reason why you're not getting published, if you're writing a book and you've had struggles with getting your manuscripts published in the past, then maybe it's to do with your writing, or to do with some little plot devices that aren't right or something like that. And if that's the case, then you need to work on that as well. But again, you don't need to overwhelm yourself with it, okay? But the point is that you persevere, you keep on going until. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. What's the point of giving up? There is no point in giving up, okay? Unless the only time I would suggest you give up is if you're no longer in love with what you're doing, right? And you really feel that, and you're not going to feel regret. Perhaps you decide you're more passionate about something else now, right? If you're more passionate about something else and you've got a new route that you'd rather go down, then go down that route. Because that's the only time I would say that. But okay, perhaps you need to quit what you're doing and do something different. But with that, even with that, you got to still persevere. You got to still going, because it may not work for, the first time. A lot of people give up. Let's say they start a YouTube channel or they start a blog. After the first few videos or the first few posts, and it hasn't got they're not instantly making money from it, basically. A lot of people give up. A lot of people see that it's actually going to require a lot more time and then give up. But you don't want to do that, right? Keep on going. Just keep on persevering. Eventually, you will get it. You will get something. You will get that attraction that you are looking for. But you've got to persevere. You've got to keep on going, okay? Another thing that can really help you in the next 30 days is if the next 30 days you go the extra mile, right? And what I mean by that is that you put in as much effort as you can. Now, obviously, if you're doing something, like I said, for just 15 minutes, then within that 15 minutes, you do the best you very well can. Like, it's the best workout you've done. Or if you are like creating like a post or something for online, if you've got like an online business, then do your best to optimize that post to make it the best it possibly can be. Perhaps you've got clients, perhaps you've got people that you speak to, like customers. Perhaps it's not even related to your goals, but do go the extra mile. Go the extra mile for someone else in that kind of scenario, right? Because that will make you feel really, really good about yourself, and it will get you into the habit of doing your best work, okay? And that will really help you. So if you sort of stick to these principles for 30 days, I guarantee that you're going to get into some really good habits by the end of the 30 days, okay? Like I said, I'm not promising astronomical results, although that can happen. You might get really lucky, right? But ultimately, what this is supposed to do is to get you into the habit, into doing what you know you need to do, so you can start feeling good about yourself, because it doesn't feel good to procrastinate, right? It doesn't feel good to put things off, which is why it's important, right, that you start small first, okay? Then you can add more to it over time. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com, and I shall talk to you guys again very soon. Goodbye.